But what are some of the worst examples that left you stunned?
So I think the electricity crisis at PE Provincial Hospital was terrible. That's where the people get their heart surgery, and little babies get their heart cardiac procedures. And just those people carrying their loved ones up and down the stairs was because these are very weak people, and they had to come in. The surgeons would tell them, you must come for your operation and then be cancelled again. So they were just carried up and down the stairs. And that was terrible. Of course, the human feces incident, I just thought this must be rock bottom. We can't get any further than this.
What happened there? What happened there with the human feces incident?
It appears that there was some standoff about who was supposed to clean it. And it just wasn't cleaned for days. And if you look at my story today, there's been an outbreak of a bacterial infection in these hospitals that is caused by infectious feces. It's one of the things that you can get, I guess. And I don't know if this person had this bacterial infection or not, but it's just if you get more than 40 cases of a bacterial infection that's entirely preventable, how can you and this thing just spread in the hospitals? You want to pull your hair out because, for me personally, access to health is a human right. It's in the Constitution. And my heart breaks for the patients at these state hospitals because they have nowhere else to go. I'm pretty sure if they had the choice, they'll go to the private hospitals. But this is them at their most vulnerable. And they have to deal with things like this.
And then, of course, it's shocking that these are hospital-acquired infections, basically due to poor management of infection control or even prevention, right? But also the amount of time patients have to spend waiting for assistance. In some hospitals, you're in casualty for 10 days before you get a bed?
Yes, so I think it's quite complicated how patients flow through the hospital, but that is the problem. People get stuck in casualty because there are no beds. The psychiatric unit where people must go for 72-hour observation seems to be chaotic. And we mentioned it in our story as well, that, that people get sent home because there's no infection control there either. So if you're old or young or you're sick, then they won't take you into the psychiatric holding facility because they're scared of, you might have COVID. And then they send people that might be at higher risk of self-harm, they'll send home. But still, the orthopedic patients are sent home because the doctors can't operate. The heart patients, I think the electricity is back on now in that hospital, but the heart patients were sent home because the surgeons couldn't operate. It is a very, very difficult situation.
Current events, developing stories,
tough questions,
your voice making a difference.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.